The National Corvette Restorers Society, or NCRS, was formed in 1974. It is a nonprofit hobby group of 16,000 families dedicated to the enjoyment of all Corvettes and the restoration, preservation, and history made from the model years 1953 through most C4 model years. The larger inclusion of later models will allow car owners to participate in flight judging and to learn more about their C4s.
32 years ago, we thought it'd be a good idea to start an organization that catered to 53 to 62 Corvettes. And back then, it was from 3 different states, Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. And over the years, it's evolved into 50 states and all the foreign countries. We've got about 16,000 families around the world.
We've got well over 100 cars, and many of these cars will be judged to receive either our Top Flight Award or our Duntov Award or our McClellan Award, and that's what the people really came to see. Plus have a good time, because many of them brought their families with their children.
We try to move it around the country. Still, we got people that drove from Maine, and we got people that drove from Florida, and we got people that drove from the state of Washington. So no matter where we have it, we got people that come from all over the country.
What we're looking for is to see how the car resembles what left the factory. A Corvette's always been top of the line in performance and handling, and I think that's been the thing of the Corvette. So basically, from each year that the Corvettes were built, from 1953 on up, it's a great handling vehicle for that time and that era.
Some of the highlights of NCRS are: NCRS judging was the first to focus on a car's originality and to publish technical and judging guidelines. Most importantly, the cars are not judged against each other, but are evaluated against a standard. NCRS publishes 10 magazines each year for its members. 44 local chapters exist today across North America and the world, including the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, Australia, and New Zealand. There are over 100 members outside of North America. NCRS members are the founding fathers of the National Corvette Museum and include 19 NCRS members who are included in the National Corvette Museum Hall of Fame. At least 50 chapter events, 6 regional events, and 1 national convention are held each year at locations across North America and Europe. Nearby chapter activities are the best way to learn about Corvettes and to meet other local enthusiasts. Please see the display for future activities near you. NCRS activities often allow members special access to restricted areas in places such as NASCAR racetracks, race shops, private museums, world-renowned restoration shops, and General Motors facilities. NCRS awards have become today's most prestigious standard for 1953 to 1993 Corvettes. NCRS maintains a website at ncrs.org. Within that site is a technical discussion board and archives that offers answers to just about any question that can be asked about what, why, and how on a Corvette. The NCRS Archives is located and maintained at the AACA Library. Technical material is available to all members. NCRS Judging Standard. Cars are to be judged to the standard of vehicle appearance at the time and point of final assembly by the Chevrolet Motor Division of General Motors Corporation and Standard Chevrolet Dealer New Car Preparation. The recognition a Corvette receives for achieving this level of standard, 94% of 4,500 points or greater, is a Top Flight Award. The other awards that NCRS has created and developed are the PV, or Performance Verification Award, for recognition of Corvettes that function as intended when delivered new. If a Corvette achieves a 97% score and passes the PV, the Duntov or McClellan Mark of Excellence Award is presented, which is the highest NCRS award. Additional NCRS awards, such as the Bow Tie, are awarded to unrestored Corvettes that exhibit qualities to educate our members. The Crossed Flags Award is presented to 1984 to 1993 models that have achieved a McClellan Award and also retain at least 90% originality. Other NCRS awards, such as the Sportsman, Founders, and Sam Folds Awards, require the owners to drive their Corvettes to chapter, regional, and national meets. The National Corvette Restorers Society also recognizes historically significant Corvettes with the American Heritage Award. These cars can include GM styling cars, GM experimental cars, and factory or vintage race cars. More information on all the awards can be obtained in the NCRS Judging Reference Manual.
We have approximately 16,500 families. And when I say families, we try to bring families into the car hobby. When we sell a membership, it's a membership for a family. We like families to participate. We also like to keep that atmosphere on our judging field so that everyone has something to do during one of our conventions or during one of the regionals that travels around the country.
I've been involved in NCRS for 28 years. I joined NCRS because I was looking for an organization that did not judge one vehicle against another. NCRS has a unique process where we judge cars against a standard. As a result of that, you can have 20 cars that all win the same award. You don't have 20 cars and 2 cars go home with first and second place and 18 cars go home with nothing. So NCRS is an organization that recognizes and judges cars against a standard rather than against each other.
Before you start looking at a Corvette, most likely a collector's Corvette, is that you look into the NCRS. The education that you'll get from judging or from just participating in one of our events is invaluable.
But the cars are spectacular. We produce judging manuals. The judging manuals are good tools to learn about your car from. So the organization just fits me. That's what I like, and that's why I stayed.
We moved the national conventions to better help our members attend these conventions all over the country. In 2009, we'll be in San Jose, California, and in 2010, we'll be at the Lowe's Motor Speedway in Charlotte, North Carolina. NCRS has developed a documentation service that will help owners trace the judging history of a Corvette as it is captured in our database. We have an expanded database that has every car that NCRS has ever judged, going back to the early 1980s. The new award confirmation document will help an owner track his or her Corvette through the judging process of the NCRS. If the car was judged in our organization, it'll keep the color, the option, and the horsepower when the car was judged, where the car was judged, and to what level it received an award.
I think it starts out as a car that a lot of people, think about as when they were growing up and as they became adults, and then as we get them to come to places like Park City, they meet a lot of friends and then the friendship is really what brings us all together.
I don't know, I've just always enjoyed Corvettes and bought my first one in about 1978, and I just really enjoy driving the vehicle.
For the new ones, it's a tremendous value, a fantastic car, and the old ones, everybody's got their favorite year that they either grew up with or girlfriend, whatever, that they go back to.
Everyone has a Corvette story, it seems. You stop somewhere, my father had one, my mother had one.
Well, I was born and raised in Southern California until I was about 19, 20 years old. And being from Southern California, Corvettes and cars were everything in the 60s. And I made myself a promise whenever I could afford to hopefully buy a Corvette. I love 58s. And so my very first opportunity in the industry was to find an original 1958 Corvette, which I bought out of the East Coast.
We meet many friends from all over the United States and travel to parts of the country we would not normally have seen otherwise without being for NCRS.
They don't rust, they're lightweight, and they have very good power to weight ratio, and they're only 2 seats. So the chances of scoring in one of these is pretty good. So it's a chick magnet car. It's fun. You know, it's a work of art. And we're all a bunch of young guys, old guys, trying to recapture their youth. And that's what this is all about.
I'm gonna cruise right down to your house. I'm gonna take away all of your love. I'm gonna cruise right down to your house. And I know I'll never get enough. Because you're my little baby, and that's the way it's gotta be.
We hope you enjoyed this brief overview of the National Corvette Restorer Society and the NCRS Award Program, in addition to the comments by founding member Gary Mortimer and past NCRS President Gilbert Scrivener. As you've heard, a Corvette is not only for display, but also for driving. No trailer queens here. As one of our longtime members once said, I joined NCRS because of the cars, and I've stayed because of the people. National Corvette Restorer Society membership is just $35 per year. You can learn from our many years of research before you spend $75,000 for a vintage Corvette. Please see the display for a membership application.